Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we took on the gym leader of Mauville City, Watson, who for whatever reason is in an alleyway cafe just listening to someone play the guitar. Really doesn't seem like him at all. But anyway, in this episode, after spending, 9 episodes in Castelia City, we are finally going to be heading off beyond Castelia City, which is honestly good, because I feel like spending so much time in Castelia City and spending so much time listening to this music can get a little bit tedious. I mean, I like Castelia City, don't get me wrong, but we've spent a lot of time here, so I think it's time we moved on. Oh, it's you again. If it's not an inconvenience, may I have a look at your Pokémon? Sure. I appreciate your cooperation. Oh, how interesting. Your Lucario seems to display more self-confidence than others of the same species. And you're a trainer with merely 3 badges. Fantastic! I'm not sure how you're doing it, but you're bringing out the power of your Pokémon. Oh, excuse me. I am a scientist. My name is Colress. The theme of my research is bringing out the power of Pokémon. Bringing out the power of Pokémon. Is it possible to bring out their maximum power through the bond they share with their trainers? Or is there some other different method? I'd like to test my theory by battling with you. Do you find this acceptable? Sure. Either way, I'll be waiting on Route 4. It's just beyond here. So even though he gives us the choice, it's basically a required fight. So, without further ado, let's go head off to Route 4 and see if we can gain more further counsel with this Colress guy. Man, it feels nice to be finally heading out this way. Hey! When I saw you in the city, I just had to catch up with you. Here, take this. This is a dowsing machine. Oh boy, this thing. I love this thing. This is the dowsing machine. As Bianca will explain, you can use the dowsing machine to find places where items are hidden. It's exciting to find an item while you're looking for a Pokemon. Oh, good luck! Oh, if you often use the dowsing machine, the habitat list and so on, why don't you register them? I think it's written in this book. I found it. Okay, I'll read it. You can use the registered item just by pressing the Y button. See? Alright, bye! Yeah, I kind of already knew about the whole registering thing, but I think what I want to do is I want to register that dowsing machine immediately, because I feel like, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on this, I feel like the dowsing machine in this game is probably the best, not that one, is probably the best incarnation of the item ever. So basically, once we have that registered, we press the Y button, scroll down to dowsing machine, and it appears on the bottom screen like that. And as you walk around, it will automatically update and point in the direction of a hidden item. No touching the screen, no repeatedly using the item, it's just there. It's so perfect. I absolutely love this incarnation of the dowsing machine. Seriously. Alright, now where is this Colress guy? I think we might actually have to fight a trainer first here. Now this brings me to something. Having lots of battles is the best way to train a Pokemon quickly. Veterans of my channel will know that the first video posted on this channel was a video detailing glitches in Pokemon Black and White 2. I made this video back when the Japanese version of the game was the only one released, and I could not obviously read Japanese at the right young age of 16. So, when I left the area and came back and was forced to fight this trainer again as if nothing had happened, I assumed it was, of course, a bug in the game. I later came to find out that that is not the case. For anyone who's thinking about leaving comments on that video or any other video about that, I know this is not a glitch. I know it's intentional. What I don't get is why they chose to implement it in this way, since the teams, the dialogue, everything is exactly the same. It just strikes me as one of the very few lazy things about this game. But yeah, I know it's not a glitch. I've gotten like 100 or more comments about it. I am very much aware. Okay? Okay. Anyway, Colress. I've been waiting for you. What's the matter? Interested in what's behind me? Those are not mere rocks, but the Pokémon known as Crustle. Observe. With this device I created to energize Pokémon, I'll... Those Crustle, were they just lying here, out of energy, with their boulders on their backs? Team Plasma said we should recognize the potential in Pokémon and liberate them from humans. I disagree. Conversely, it should be humans who bring out the hidden potential in Pokémon. Now that I think of it, I never asked your name. David. I'll remember that name. Well then, I will test you to see if you're a trainer who can bring out the hidden potential of Pokémon. And we are fighting Colress! Now, one thing I'm not entirely clear on here is it is playing the battle music that usually only plays for Colress during a fight later in the game. Not to spoil anything, but in the original version of Black and White 2, this music only played during later fights with Colress, once his greater significance in the plot had been revealed. I'm not going to spoil anything more than that. So I'm not sure why it's playing here. I have a feeling it might be either a personal preference of the hack creator or possibly a glitch. Which is a little unfortunate because I feel like this music really isn't that fitting for this fight, but it is fitting for a fight later. Once again, not going to elaborate any further than that, but that's basically how I feel on the subject. Not that it's a bad song, it's an awesome song, I just feel like it's a lot cooler when they sort of just throw it at you later on in the adventure. And of course, as you can see here, he's got a bunch of Steel-type Pokemon, and we're seeing the same strategy that Watson used last episode with Volt Switch. And of course, out comes Metang, which is actually a very strong Pokemon and something you have to be very, very worried about because it is part Psychic, which is really unfortunate because Psychic moves tend to do quite a bit of damage, and its Psychic typing also allows it to resist Force Palm, which is quite unfortunate. I'm a little bit worried because of this. But luckily, since we blew most of our money on Pokeballs last episode, I don't think we have to worry about losing too terribly much if we happen to lose. Although I do not expect to lose. Although I think what I want to do is I actually want to... yeah, I'm going to switch to Victini because I'm expecting this guy to continue using Psychic and Steel-type moves, neither of which are very effective against Victini. Yep, there's the Psyshock coming out. How much is this going to do? Yeah, see, it didn't do very much at all, so that will allow us to start breaking out the Flame Charge, which is definitely 100% super effective on Metang. Which is very good, because Metang is something you want to get off the field as soon as possible. Anyone who's played even decently far into Pokemon Coliseum will know exactly why I have a little bit of a vendetta against fighting Metang. Unfortunately, it looks like this thing has a Ground-type move, but since Victini is faster, shouldn't have to deal with that anymore because down it goes. Very nice. Let our speed go up again, which is awesome. And who's coming out next? We have a Rotom coming out next. That is very interesting. Not what I was expecting. Even though we're sort of sacrificing Victini's speed boost, I'm going to send out Houndoom because Rotom is part Ghost type. At least, I'm hoping it's in its form that's part Ghost type. It's not. This is actually its Flying type form, which is interesting. Oddly enough, when Rotom's forms were introduced in Generation 4, all 5 forms were Ghost Electric type. It was only once Generation 5 came around that they changed them all to be their, I don't want to say natural types, that just changed them so that the types matched the form. Anyway, since this form of Rotom in this generation is not part Ghost, we can use Return on it, which I think I probably should have done in the first place. But yeah, that does quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we're going to survive that. No, we're not. It knows Air Slash, which is a little bit unfortunate. Now, fun fact about Rotom here is that I believe this form of Rotom is the only Pokemon to be both Flying type and have the ability Levitate, which seems a little bit redundant to me. I mean, I honestly don't see why anyone would need to have both the Flying type and Levitate on a Pokemon. I'm willing to bet, though, that it was just an oversight in the transition from Generation 4 to 5, because honestly, you know they're really not troubled with changing the abilities of Pokemon across games like they did with Basculin in Generation 5, but that's a long story for another time. If I ever get around to explaining it, I'm not even actually entirely sure how that story works, just because it's so bizarre. Anyway, we have a Clink coming out, pure Steel type, so I think we're just going to use Flame Charge on it. I don't expect it to survive. It might. Oh wow, it actually did. Well, either way, I don't think it's going to survive for much longer, because since Victini's got a speed boost from Flame Charge, I think we'll still go first? Yeah, we did, but unfortunately we had to deal with our paralysis here. Alright, Autotomize. I don't remember what that does. The speed rose. And it said it became nimble. I will fully admit I don't know what that means in the context of like moves or anything, but luckily it looks like it took recoil and life orb damage from that. Lots of things tend to have life orb around, but it looks like that's sort of paying off, because we've had several opponents knock themselves out from life orb damage. Alright, we got Porygon 2 coming out, which is a pure normal type, so I'd like to send out Lucario for it, but Lucario is a little bit damaged. So I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out Nidorino, because as I said, I'm pretty sure Nidorino has the Amulet Coin. So we're going to get our money boost and sort of send Nidorino out here for fodder, while I chuck some Super Potions into my Lucario. Unfortunately, it looks like Porygon 2 actually just traced Poison Point, or Synchronized Poison Point, or whatever the ability is. Or is it Download? I feel like there's a lot of abilities that do similar things. But yeah, that could come back and bite me later if I'm not too terribly careful. Alright, it's throwing a Tri-Attack at us, which honestly I really like Tri-Attack's animation this generation. Not because it looks pretty or anything, but because it's really fast, because in a lot of older generations, Tri-Attack's animation took a particularly long time. So I pretty much like it in this generation purely because it sort of flies by. Alright, we're taking a Psyshock. Luckily, our Steel type should nullify that to an extent, and it does, and there's our Force Palm, which actually does less than half, but we finally got the Paralyze off with Force Palm. Force Palm has a chance of paralysis, but I feel like we encounter it very, very rarely. Alright, and it looks like it's actually paying off. Very nice. Gonna heal off with our leftovers here. Now let's see, can we beat the paralysis for a third turn in a row? We can't. I always jinx it. Oh, it knows Recover? Are you serious? Yeesh. I'm pretty sure you all know my opinion on Recover by now, or moves similar to it. Birds best play with Roost. Alright, as long as it doesn't use Recover again. You know what? It's not that bad. I feel like we have this fight pretty under control at this point, so I'm not too bothered by it. In fact, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure his Magnemite is his only Pokemon after this, because I think it Volt Switched right at the beginning of the fight and we just never saw it again. At least I hope that's the case, because I have a feeling Magnemite is not going to be difficult to take out whatsoever. Alright, can we please Force Palm this thing? Oh, come on. Don't recover. Please stop recovering, seriously. It's just delaying the inevitable, come on. We just need its paralysis to kick in at an opportune moment, and have ours not kick in at an opportune moment, and are you serious? Come on here with this paralysis, are you for real? Oh well. Alright, we only got 2 Force Palms left. I'd really like to take this thing down. Can we get a critical or something? Please? Alright, I think this might be the moment of truth for this Porygon 2. Because I think if we hit it with Force Palm, we'll knock it out. But if we're paralyzed... Okay, we're not paralyzed. Come on, please knock it out. Oh, darn it. Alright, this is gonna be pretty close. Or not. Great. Luckily though, I have a feeling that it really doesn't have much to do against our Servine, so even though Servine's sort of been sitting out because it's not good against Steel types, might as well send it out just for this one last hit. And of course we're faster because it's paralyzed. So down goes Porygon 2. Very nice. Gain lots of experience for that. Wowie. Yeah, Magnemite's his last Pokemon. We're gonna keep in here with Servine for the moment because I would like to use one of our Super Potions on Victini just to get it up a little bit. Because I think we might be at risk of getting one-shot by this Magnemite at 22 HP, but if we're up in the 70s, I think we're going to be fine. Oop, don't want to go back into the bag here. Alright, let's see if we can get a Leech Seed off on this thing. That would be... Oh wow, it has Signal Beam. That's actually kind of bad. That does a lot of damage. And of course we're paralyzed, because why wouldn't we be? Alright, this actually might be a little bit close, but I'm pretty sure Victini's Fire typing will actually nullify its weakness to Signal Beam. So this will be a little bit close, actually, which is a little bit surprising. But I think we've probably got this in the bag if we can get a Flame Charge off. Alright, Volt Switch, please don't do that much. Yeah, that didn't do too terribly much, and he can't switch, and our Volt Switch goes off. Please be a one-shot, that would be very nice. Yes, there we go. Little bit too close for comfort, but we pulled it off. Very nice. Splendid, you are quite the trainer. Indeed we are, you and your trifold iPad. I see. Just like the gym leaders in each area, or the Elite Four and champion in the Pokemon League. You bring out the power in Pokemon by being kind to them. That's the kind of person you are. I'm extremely grateful for your help. This is a token of my gratitude. TM03 Psyshock. We might want to teach that to Victini in the very near future. It's so frustrating. If only we could talk to Pokemon in order to bring out their power, but there's no way a person like that could ever exist. Well then, David. I hope to see you again sometime. Some very interesting musings by Mr. Colress right there, especially considering some of the plot devices in the original Pokemon Black and White, anyone who wants to think back to that. Now you might be wondering, come on, why are you running all the way back into Castelia City already? It's because I took a lot of damage in that fight, obviously, and I'd like to heal, so sue me. But yeah, this is probably the last time we're going to be spending extended time in the Castelia City area. Although, while taking on Route 4, we might want to be running back here to the Pokemon Center just for heals, in the case that it becomes necessary, because I really don't feel like losing another battle for quite a long time. Like, I'll be honest here, recording episode 24 was a chore, because literally half of my footage had to be scrapped for the main episode because I kept on losing, and that's not something we want to have happen. But anyway, let's hop on our bicycle and just run back to Route 4 just to make sure we don't end another episode in Castelia City. Also, I like how just yes appeared in a text box there. Just no context, just yes. I feel like I know some people that can connect with that on an emotional level. Anyway, let's head on right through here, and I'm going to disembark the bicycle, and I think, now that we had our first real fight with Colress, a very mysterious man whose head sort of looks like the old Internet Explorer logo, I think we are going to end things off here. Next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we are going to be exploring even further onto Route 4, and we're going to be discussing the significance this route has in terms of the differences between Black version 2 and White version 2. Something really interesting. But anyway, without further ado, I will see you guys next time.